Great points by my colleague from Texas. This is complicated. It's not easy, and that's one reason I appreciate you, Mr. Chairman, and Senator Wyden in getting us to this point, but we're not done. We have much more to do. I do think, as a whole, this package will lower drug costs, and it's going to help people with their out-of-pocket expenses, which is what I hear about all the time. So across Ohio, people are having a hard time. Some of them have complex medical conditions, and they sort of fall in the middle where they don't have enough help from Medicaid or Medicare, and they really cannot afford the drugs that they need every day. So I think this will help. Drug prices are too high, and often they're too high for the very people that can't afford them. So I want to move forward. I think there are a few common sense bipartisan solutions here that are helpful. Having said that, we need to do more work. Let me talk about a few that I really like. It lowers out-of-pocket costs for seniors in Part D by having this out-of-pocket spending cap, $3,100. I think that's important for the 2 million Ohioans that rely on Medicare for their health care coverage. This is going to provide more certainty and protect some of those patients with those complex medical conditions. I think this, along with restructuring the liability in Part D, is going to help to ensure this program works better for those who need it the most. One reason I support the restructuring of the liability is I think it does take away a current incentive to raise prices by kicking the costs into the catastrophic area where the government picks up the tab. And so I think that's important. I do have one concern about this that I'm hearing about, and that is I think we need more study on the impact on very expensive but essential therapies like psychotherapy drugs. These are not the high-margin drugs, and there are a lot of big guys who aren't in this business, but those who are in this business have some concerns about the restructuring, and I think there's some ways to deal with that in terms of their manufacturer liability. But overall, I think it's a really smart approach. The policy that the ranking member has championed that deals with price spreading in Medicaid, I think is really important. That's been a problem in Ohio, and I'm sure in all of your states. PBMs sometimes keep a portion of the amount paid to them by the health plans for prescription drugs instead of passing those along to the pharmacies. And I think that is going to be something positive out of this. On point-of-sale rebates, I agree. The rebates need to go to the consumers, need to go to the patients. And I'm going to have an amendment, as you know, I'll offer later on that. We can talk about it a little bit. And I'm hopeful that we can get back to that, because I think that's important. By the way, on the inflationary cap, I do have concerns, as was expressed earlier, about some of the unintended consequences of that, particularly on R&D and innovation. And also, I wonder why those rebates wouldn't go to consumers rather than under our current proposal going to the government, because again, kind of like the point-of-sale rebates, that seems to make more sense to me. We can have that discussion. Finally, the package includes the Refund Act, which I've worked on with Senator Durbin and Senator Bennett. This is going to help stop drug manufacturers from producing vials that are too large. It'll save billions of dollars a year. A good thing in this bill, and I thank you for including it. And again, our work doesn't end here, but I look forward to having the discussion today and then helping to move this package forward.